updates on Ken Seals and Davian Davis?
Of course, Ken is going to be day-to-day this week. So I don't see the injury impacting availability, but certainly got to see how he responds in practice and, could impact performance. So we're going to keep an eye on that as the week goes. We'll determine who the starter is later in the week. But day-to-day for Ken. And then Davian is going to undergo surgery that's going to end the season. And so, we hurt when Davian hurts. He's been a heartbeat and one of the main arteries of the team since the beginning. He's a captain. And can't say enough about his level of investment and sacrifice for this program. It was hard for me to see him in pain on the field. I was not shocked to see him back on the sideline to finish the game. That's the kind of guy he is. I am obviously excited to support him through his recovery in full. I know he's going to attack this as he attacks everything and is going to set a standard for us in terms of what it means to recover and come back stronger than before. And I'm excited for him to continue in a role as a leader and a mentor to our program through the finish of the season. And so tough news for everyone here with Davian, but also an opportunity for him to continue to make a great impact on what we're building here.
Chris?
Yeah, now that you've had a chance to watch the film and digest it a little more, what did you take away from the second half last week?
Well, the second half was a resemblance of a plan to win. It was it looked like a team that understood their identity and that knew what needed to be done to win a football game. We were complementary. We made stops on defense. We controlled the game on offense with methodical drives that finished with touchdowns. The problem was in the second quarter, we had a 21-point swing where, we're not capable of recovering from that right now. I thought there's a combination of, a two-play, two-pass touchdown drive at the end of the first quarter into the second quarter. There's the, poor decision on the pick six where Kentucky was playing faster than we were. And then you turn around and 3 runs later, they're back in the end zone. And again, we've said a bunch, our margin for error here is small, and there's a lot of ownership within those breakdowns on the coaching end of things, how we teach things, how we better position our players. Obviously, like always on the execution part of things, the details, making the play that presents itself. It's frustrating, but I was proud of the way we finished. We've yet to play a 4-quarter game this year, and I'd be really excited and interested to see what this team is capable of if we can put 4 quarters together, starting fast, playing strong through the middle 8, and then finishing the game off would be, we'd be at least able to see exactly what the potential is here in Team 1.
Aria?
Clark, without Davian, what does the rest of the defense need to do to kind of step up in his absence and to kind of make up for some of the things that he did on defense?
Well, we have young players that need to step up. We have guys like Devin Lee that need to continue to grow in performance. Interested in getting Tank back. Want him to get back to health so we can use him in his final game that he has remaining. And then obviously there's a leadership void too. So, Davian will be back and around, but he won't be able to be on the field. And so guys like Anthony Orji and Max Worship, need to shoulder the burden of moving the unit forward, and they will. I mean, we have burgeoning leadership on that side of the ball. So, I think we have guys that are going to be ready to step up and be what the team needs. But certainly there's going to be a missing piece there that we're going to have to account for, both in the development of our depth and also the voice of leadership.
Teresa?
Clark, as you now prepare for the challenge of going on the road to Ole Miss, what this kind of challenge, what are you going to have to do? You mentioned trying to start fast and put together a whole game. What are you going to have to do against Ole Miss to have a chance to compete in that game?
Well, the first thing is you're dealing with a high octane offense that that has obviously proven through the season to be explosive. They have a really good quarterback. They have good running backs. They have a good receiver core. They have a good scheme and design that stress you with tempo. Those are things that that create exposure, and we have to limit exposure. We do that by generating stops, by making sure that we're executing the plan defensively, that we're aligned when the ball snapped, and that we're capable in terms of our conditioning of playing through our technique to win. It also means offensively that we're able to extend drives and control the clock. And then like we did in the second half against Kentucky, we need to punctuate those drives with touchdowns. We can't allow for Ole Miss to get rhythm, and we certainly can't afford to turn the ball over and do things that get them more possessions in the game. And so it's going to be about neutralizing the offense, and doing that on our offensive side of the ball, making sure that we're finishing drives with points and finishing drives with touchdowns, because they've proven the ability to score.
Chris Harris.
Hey, Coach, along those lines, how do you evaluate Matt Corral relative to the other quarterbacks you faced this year?
Well, he's a creator. He's a guy that has the ability to extend plays and throw from multiple arm angles and find open receivers. It's not going to always be the way it looks in the playbook. It's gonna be his ability to make the play that's required to move the ball forward. He's athletic. He's got a good arm, and he's got good people around him. And so, I think we have a challenge that's obviously the offense starts with him, as is most the case, but certainly a guy that we feel like is dangerous, and that we're going to have to be attentive to in our planning to make sure we have a chance to slow them down. But he's a good player, and I think what makes him really good is his ability to create, and the play's never over. The receiver's never covered. You got to assume he's going to be able to extend and find somebody late, and we're going to have to be on our toes and addressing that challenge.
Aria.
Outside that one, Chris Pierce interception at the end of the first half, you kind of struggled to generate turnovers against Kentucky. Was there anything specifically that they did to kind of limit that? And what kind of, is there anything that you need to do to kind of be able to get more pressure against Ole Miss?
Well, I think that you answered the question there at the finish. We weren't able to impact the quarterback. And when you can't impact the quarterback and he can throw in a clean pocket, it's hard to make the play on the ball down the field. And we had opportunities to. I mean, it's the frustrating part of it isn't always like, we have free runners at the quarterback. We have techniques that we use to disrupt the ball, to mirror hand, to impact the arm or the follow through the quarterback that that we weren't doing. And so it's getting back to the basics there. It's continuing to make the disruption of the thrower a priority. And when we've had turnovers this season on defense, some of it is guys making plays, but a big part of it is getting the pressure to either speed up the quarterback's clock or somehow impact follow through to get the throw off target. And so, we missed opportunities to do that on Saturday against Kentucky. I thought also they're effective in a run game that at times kept them from having to throw the ball a lot. So it wasn't like they were able to find success in the ground and get ahead of the chains that way. And so, it's the ability to stop a run game. It's the ability to pressure the quarterback to impact the throw. And then it's finishing those plays that are available to us. And so we have to carry that formula into the Ole Miss game, and they're certainly not going to cooperate. I mean, this is a team that runs the ball. They snap the ball fast. They're going to try to keep you from being lined up. They're going to run the ball effectively through their tempo, and that's going to set up their shots in the pass game. And What makes tempo effective is if they can get it rhythm and get you on your heels, it becomes difficult to get the pass rush generated because the ball's being snapped while you're still getting down to the stance. And so some of that we control, some of that we have to prepare for in practice. And then it's about in the moment of making the play early downs to set up a third down where they have to protect, where we can dial up some pressure. We have to find a way to win on first, second down.
Coach, that's all we got for you. Thanks so much. Oh, whoop, got one more from Brian McKeegan. Sorry, Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, just a quick question. You got a couple games left here. Do you feel like the buy-in from your players is still there heading down the stretch here?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're a work in progress. I mean, this is still year one in a rebuild. But I mean, I don't know what evidence that we need more than the fact that we came out in the second half of the game that was 31-3 at halftime, and we scored 14 points and they scored 3. I mean, I think there's evidence there that the team is connected. Obviously you say buy-in, and I think what you're asking is, are they interested in continuing on this journey in this process? And the answer to that is absolutely. Does that in and of itself turn our results? No. We have to address that 21-point swing in the second quarter and know that, again, our margin for error is so small. And the football part of this isn't challenging to decode. We have to establish a run game. We have to generate shots on offense. We have to protect the quarterback. Those things are things that everyone can see. But as far as the emotion and the mentality of the team, they're with us to fight, and that'll continue to be, a characteristic of this team one. And so we've got 2 games here to finish the season, both on the road. We have to be road warriors. They're going to bind together, and we're going to take our swing. And I've got no doubt that we'll give it our best effort.